Hello, I'm Michael Oliver.
And I'm Ellie Vance.
And welcome to SUSUtv News Live. Coming up on today's show,
we'll be taking a look at the University of Southampton's failure to respond to a freedom of information request in response to recent statistics that show that half of all instances of animal testing comes from universities.
And SUSU are in the midst of a brand review led by creative industry holders. We'll be giving you all the info and also letting you know how you can get involved. But first on this show, the recent junior doctor strikes. These were of course in response to proposed governmental changes to the contracts of junior doctors.
Junior doctors in Southampton have been striking to take action on new working conditions in their contracts, which they claim will overwork doctors, increasing the chances of mistakes and causing a threat to patient welfare. Although the changes would see an increase in basic pay, it would reduce the amount paid for our working on social hours, including nights, weekends and public holidays. Strikes were originally intended to take place in December 2015, however were called off after promises and negotiations were made by the government. These strikes, however, were rearranged for Tuesday 12th of January, Tuesday 26th of January and Wednesday 10th of February. These changes were made after 99% of over 37,000 BMA members voted in favour of industrial action, with BMA Chair Dr Mark Porter claiming that the government was still not taking junior doctors' concerns seriously. On Tuesday 12th of January, there was picketing at Southampton General Hospital, as well as a static protest at Bargate in Southampton City Centre. Students from Southampton Medical School also turned out to support the strikers.
No doctor wants to strike. No doctor wants to say, sorry, I'm not going to look after my patients today. We've been forced into this position. So hopefully this strike will be enough to show how seriously we're taking this, and hopefully the government will listen to that. But if there are future strikes, it will be all over Facebook. SUSU have been great at organising advertising for all of it as well. So come and join us in town outside the hospital, wear a badge, put up a sign outside your house, just do as much as you can to get the message out there, and tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbours.
As if we don't do anything about this and allow this dangerous contract to go through, we are putting patients at risk in the long term. We are putting the NHS at risk in the long term, and we will not stand for that. However, I do worry for the future of our National Health Service. I worry that junior doctors are leaving. 2,000 junior doctors applied to work abroad just days after this threat of imposition. So I am scared. I really hope we can get a safe contract together by working together, and then it will continue to be a fantastic profession to join.
A BBC Newsnight poll showed that 66% of the general public were in favour of strike action, as long as they continue to provide emergency care. NHS England estimate that 4,000 operations that were due to take place had to be cancelled as a direct result of industrial action. However, the 48-hour strike planned for the 26th of January was cancelled following talks between the union and the government. A Department of Health spokesperson said the cancellation of the strikes was extremely welcome news. BMA Junior Doctor Committee Chair Dr Johan Malawana told ITV News that the decision to suspend the strikes was to ensure that it was giving trusts as much notice as possible so as to avoid disruption to patients. He also confirmed that differences still exist between the BMA and the government, especially in key areas including protecting patient safety and the recognition of unsocial hours. If the strikes that are currently planned for the 10th of February are to be averted, then significant concrete progress will need to be made. Tom Brown, SUSUtv News, Royal Southampton Hospital.
And now in other news, the University of Southampton has refused to respond to freedom of information requests on behalf of the university. Leighton Osbourne reports.
A recent report published by Cruelty Free International has stated that the University of Southampton is one of 5 Russell Group universities in the UK not to publish a Freedom of Information Act regarding the use of animals in research facilities across their campus. The report that was published found that the University of Oxford was using approximately 250,000 animal models in their research, including the use of primates. This was closely followed by the University of Edinburgh, UCL, King's and Cambridge. The use of animals as research models has been highly contested over the last couple of decades, especially for the development of products such as cosmetics. Dr. Katie Taylor from Cruelty Free International has commented stating that we should be aborting the use of animals in this archaic practice and should be developing new technologies and techniques more encompassing for the 21st century without the use of animals. The Faculty of Natural and Environmental Sciences from the building behind me was unable to comment on this issue. However, we will be keeping you updated on the story as soon as it more breaks. I've been Leighton Osbourne at the University of Southampton, reporting for SUSUtv News at Highfield campus.
So next is Cameron Ridgway with a report on the upcoming SUSU Brand review.
SUSU have commissioned a review of the union's design and branding.
Described by Union President Ben Franklin as one of the most important projects that SUSU has embarked on in recent years, the brand review could radically change the way in which SUSU is viewed both by students and the outside world, with the hope of being fully able to engage with every single student. The review will be conducted by creative agency Holden's, who have previously rebranded Manchester Metropolitan University and have worked with large companies including Kellogg's and Manchester United Football Club. Ted Holden, the managing director of the agency, gave talks at both Winchester School of Art and Highfield campus on Tuesday the 26th of January. During the talks, he gave advice to those wanting to pursue a career within the creative industries, as well as encouraging students to help take part in the brand review. The next step is a consultation starting on the 25th of January, which will involve both current and former students as well as staff and university partners. Students are being advised to voice their opinions through Facebook, Twitter and the You Make Change website.
The brand review forms part of the union's Vision 2020 plan to rank among the top 5 students' unions in the country. In a 2012 study conducted by The Guardian, SUSU was ranked 12th in the UK for student satisfaction, with an average rating of 77%. Cameron Ridgway, SUSUtv News, on Highfield campus.
So now we are joined in the studio by Union President Ben Franklin and Wessex scene editor Bridie Pearson-Jones. So we had Leighton Osbourne reporting earlier on alleged animal testing at the university. What is your stance on this issue? Bridie, do you want to start with you?
Animal testing is an interesting issue. I think you were saying earlier, it is a bit of a necessary evil. I think there are ways around it. I think the bigger issue with the university, something I've experienced myself, is that they just flat out refuse to reply to freedom of information requests, which is just a blatant disregard of the law. Which I'm really glad Union Council last week passed a motion to lobby the university, and as well the fact that the university think they should be exempt from that I think is ridiculous. I think they're really not being held accountable at the moment, and it makes our job as student journalists really hard.
And finally, do you think there'll be progress on this issue at all? Do you think the university will give in and eventually give away
I hope so, because at Wessex scene, if they don't, we're going to be going to the Information Commissioner. I hope SUSU are going to be there to support us. So.
We will. As we mentioned earlier, the Union Council recently passed a policy that said we'll lobby the university, which I'm happy to do in sort of my meetings with staff over there, to sort of find out more about why the Russell Group have proposed these changes, what we can do to sort of stop it, and if it does go through, what measures we can take to either protest or to address that information asymmetry.
Okay, well, thanks very much, guys, for coming into the studio today. We hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Now, with the recent cold and wet spells, we can only hope for a change in the weather in the upcoming week. Here is Katie Norris bringing you the weather for the week ahead.
Good evening. So as we come to the end of the week, there looks to be a high chance of rain with some moderately strong winds reaching up to 23 miles per hour. Temperatures reaching on average 8 to 9 degrees today. Generally colder on Saturday with the likelihood of showers mainly in the north, with winds picking up slightly moving in from the southwest. Similar conditions likely to follow for Sunday with potential showers and wind. These wet and windy conditions unfortunately also looking to continue into the start of next week. However, there are chances of colder but brighter intervals towards the end of the week. Temperatures again on average around 8 to 9 degrees, but chances of milder, colder spells. So it's advisable to wear an extra layer if you're planning on heading out. Back to Ellie and Michael in the studio.
So, as if by magic, Georgia has now appeared in the studio to talk about sports, all things sporting. So, hi Georgia, how are you today?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for that, Michael. So, moving on to cricket, Sean Irvine smashed a 20-ball 55 in the Masters Champion League, but still finished on the losing side against Hampshire teammate Michael Carberry. Moving on to sailing, Jeff Holt from Fareham will sail 27 miles around the world, all in aid of his Accessible Oceans project. Holt, who was paralysed in a swimming accident in 1984, something that really sticks true to his heart, and he wants to make oceans more accessible for disabled people. So it's a great cause and really good luck with that, Jeff. Last but not least, in hockey, Fareham won 3 of their 5 South Division matches, so that is great, and they have now been promoted to England Hockey's Super 6 tournament, so that is great news. So we've had lots going on
Thanks
this
so
week.
much, Georgia.
So that is all of that for today. Thank you to all of our guests for coming in and appearing on the show. And don't forget, you can catch up on all of the latest news on our website, SUSU.tv. So that's enough from me and Molly here tonight. So thank you very much for joining us. Bye.